Today we are going to learn a concept about plants and animals, how do they live in different places on the earth. If we look around, we'll find different kinds of living organisms like birds flying in the sky, monkeys jumping on the trees, butterflies on flowers, fish live in water, camel moving in the deserts. All these organisms, how they are able to live in different places. The habitat is the place which provides organisms with food, shelter, climatic conditions which suit them to survive, grow, and flourish or reproduce. All the organisms they live in their natural homes, which is called as habitat. For example, cactus and camel they are seen only in deserts. Earthworm lives in moist soil, whereas a frog can live both in water and on land, while an elephant can live in dense forest. The organisms which live in a particular place, which helps them to get food, shelter, and they are adjusted to the climatic conditions, all these together, it is called as the habitat of that organism. The habitat of organism is composed of mainly biotic components and abiotic components. Biotic components are the living organisms of that habitat like plants, insects, birds, animals and humans. And abiotic components are the non-living components of that habitat like rainfall, temperature, availability of oxygen, humidity, all these. The habitat of a tiger is small bushes or grasslands where it can hide in the shrubs and shady trees and hunts its prey. All these organisms they have some adjustments in their body structure and the food habits which helps them to live in a particular habitat. The living conditions in different habitats are different for different organisms. Some places are hot while some places are extremely cold, and some places are dry and some places are wet. Habitats have special features, and the behavior of the organisms help them to adjust to these conditions. And the ability of the organisms to change and adjust according to the environment of the habitat is called adaptation. Adaptations help an organism to suit to that environment successfully and lead a comfortable life. An organism that fails to adjust or adapt to its surroundings cannot survive in that habitat. Thus, an adaptation helps the organism to live a comfortable life. The adaptations may be seen in the body structure, behavior. Example like cactus and camels, they are adapted to live in deserts. While the plants like hydrilla, lotus, water lily, they are adapted to live in water. Fish, they are adapted to live in water. Birds, they are adapted to fly in the air. Their body structure is designed like they are able to fly in the air and live on trees. Let us study the adaptations in plants and animals which live in water, deserts, mountains, and air. First, we'll see about adaptations in plants. Based on the amount of water available in the habitat, plants are divided into three categories: hydrophytes, mesophytes, and xerophytes. Hydrophytes are the plants which live in water. They are also called as aquatic plants. Mesophytes are the plants which require sufficient amount of water and they are adapted to live on land. Example shrubs, herbs, trees, etc. Xerophytes are the plants which are adapted to live in dry and hot conditions of environment. Example plants like cacti, bubble, etc. Adaptations in hydrophytes or aquatic plants. Hydrophytes are mainly divided into four types: free floating, free floating and rooted, submerged and floating, submerged and rooted. Free floating hydrophytes, they live on the water surface. They are not attached to the soil. Examples are water hyacinth and duckweed. Free floating and rooted hydrophytes are fixed in the soil, and the leaves they remain floating on the surface of the water because of the long stalk like structure called petiole present to it. Example for free floating and rooted hydrophytes are lotus and water lily. Submerged and floating hydrophytes are completely, they live under the water. They are submerged in water and they do not contain any roots which are fixed in the soil. Examples for submerged and floating hydrophytes are Utricularia. Submerged and rooted. The plants which remain submerged are which grow under the water and are rooted in the soil are called as submerged and rooted hydrophytes. Examples for submerged and rooted hydrophytes are Vallisneria and Hydrilla. Some plants they grow in shallow water. The roots of the plants are completely fixed under the soil while the stems they are exposed to air. Examples of these plants are Typha, Ranunculus, paddy, etc. The adaptations of hydrophytes are: submerged hydrophytes are covered with a mucilage or wax coating which protects the plant from decaying. If any substance, whether it plant or any other substance, for more days, if it is submerged under water, gradually the water currents enhances or makes that material to decay or decompose. That mucilage present on the hydrophytes or the mucilage which covered the parts of the hydrophytes protects the plants from decaying. The stems they are spongy and flexible. Flexible means according to the water currents or according to the water movements they can move in the direction of water flow. They have a number of air spaces filled in the stem, leaves, etc. The stems of water lily or lotus have large tunnels and holes filled with air. These stems, which are filled with air, help the plant to float on water. And sometimes the stems are inflated and store large quantity of air also. The plants like hydrilla, which are submerged in water, they have long and narrow ribbon shaped leaves. These leaves allow water to pass through them easily. Floating plants have the leaves which float on water and their structure will be large and flat, and they have a waxy covering on their surface to make them waterproof. They have stomata on the upper surface of the leaf which are exposed to air. This helps the plant to absorb the gases from the upper surface of the air and carry out photosynthesis. Examples of these plants like which have free floating and large flat leaves are water lily and lotus. All hydrophytes they have a special tissue called parenchyma. This parenchyma tissue helps the plants to float on water. That phenomenon of floating the plants or leaves or plant structures on water is called as buoyancy. And this parenchyma tissue makes the plant parts flexible and move according to the water currents. And any other mechanical tissues which provide support to the plant structure are poorly developed in these hydrophytes. The roots are either absent or present in less quantity in these hydrophytes. Adaptations in mesophytes. Mesophytes are the plants which are adapted to live on land. These plants live in the soil which contains good amount of moisture and high humidity in the atmosphere. The soil in which they grow, it should be neither completely wet nor completely dry. And the mesophytes will grow or they are adapted to a moderate temperature, which is not very high and which is not very cold. The habitat should be ideal for the growth of these plants. Examples of mesophytes are shrubs, herbs, trees like rose, sunflower, gulmohar, mustard, tomato, cloves, rosewood, mango, peepal, and so on. The adaptations of mesophytes are the leaves are broad but thin, and the epidermis of the leaves it is covered with a thin cuticle. The stomata are present on the underside of the leaf in a large number. Mechanical tissues, which gives support and structure to the plants, are well developed in these mesophytes. The parts of the plant, like roots and stem, are also well developed in these plants. Adaptations in xerophytes. Xerophytes are the plants which are adapted to live in desert conditions where the water shortage or where the water availability is less in amount. These plants are adapted to live at high temperatures. Examples of xerophytes are acacia, cactus, opuntia, babul, etc. Xerophytes are adapted to conserve water and to absorb maximum water available in the soil. Adaptations in xerophytes are the leaves are reduced to spines to prevent the loss of water from the surface of the leaves. The stomata are also present in less number and they are sunken into the surface. The surface of leaves becomes shiny and glazed, which reflects the sunlight and heat. The leaves and stems have thick waxy coating. This also prevents the loss of water from the plant in the hot weather. Stems become green and perform the functions of the leaf like photosynthesis and respiration. Most plants such as cacti, they have fleshy stems which store water and nutrients in the form of jelly-like fluid. And these plants they have well developed root system which grows very deep and spread broadly in the soil to absorb whatever the little amount of water present in the soil. Adaptations in plants that grow in mountains. Plants that grow in mountains like fir, pine, etc., they have cone shaped sloping branches. These cone shaped sloping branches allow the rainwater or snow to slide off very easily, which prevents the damage to the leaves and the plants. They have needle like leaves which help them to slide off the snow easily. The stems they store water and are covered with thick waxy layer to prevent the loss of water. Trees in the mountains are tall so that they can be exposed themselves to the sunlight for the process of photosynthesis. Adaptations of plants which live in air. Orchids are classified as epiphytes. Epi means top, phyte means plants. The plants which live on top are called as epiphytes. These plants grow in the upper levels of the forest canopy. Canopy is the uppermost spreading of branches like a layer in the forest. Epiphytes grow in the upper layers of this forest canopy to receive the bright light for carrying out the process of photosynthesis. These aerial plants they obtain water and nutrients from the moisture in the air and from the dampness in the waste materials which is present on the surface of the host plant. The roots of these orchid plants they wrap themselves around the host plant which gives shelter and food while others they dangle freely in the search of food. These aerial plants have thick waxy or leathery leaves. Some of the plants have slender and curled leaves which curl upon themselves, reducing the surface area and thus prevents the loss of water from the plant. And almost like all plants, they are succulents with swollen leaves and bulb like structures are present, which are called pseudobulbs, that store water for periods when the water shortage is present. These are the various adaptations we can see in different types of plants which grow in water, land, in mountain regions, in deserts, and in air. Plants can be grown without soil also. Their need is water, mineral nutrients, and air. This type of cultivation of plants without the soil in a bag like structures which contains water and mineral nutrients is called hydroponics. I hope all of you understood the topic well. Thank you.